Hello, hello, everyone. So I am here with my son, Weston. And the reason for Weston being here today is he's going to simply share with you his experience working on eBay. Yeah. So he wasn't working with the actual company, but he was working with our shop trying to get all sorts of pre-owned goods listed in addition to running over to the post office, making sure that those deliveries were there, just a number of things that he did in terms of helping out with eBay. He's going to share some of his discoveries. So, Weston, woohoo, thank you so much for stopping by. So, Weston, could you tell us, like in the very beginning, what was the whole reason for being on eBay?
It was really just to make money because we didn't have a lot of opportunities to make money. We were kind of in a tight position, so there weren't really many options. So eBay was a good one. Um, it's easy money, and once you get the hang of it, it really, you know, brings in some good profit. So.
So, what sorts of things did you list initially that you were like, oh, wow, this actually sold?
It was mainly like older toys, collectible items, mainly really timeless things that don't really go out of style. Those we're selling. The condition, I mean, it kind of varied, but as long as they were like in usable or clean condition, they would sell.
What about the phones? I know that was something that we saw. Can you tell us a little bit about the phones and what is it that people are looking for?
Um, Really, they're looking for iPhone. I'd say iPhone 8 and up. Surprisingly, those models are still selling pretty well, despite the new iPhones coming out every year. Mainly because of the quality. So you can't go really wrong in those areas as long as you're pricing well and the phone is in good condition and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. What about the shoes? I know that you're into tennis shoes and you've got yourself a nice little collection. You were doing some watching about the shoes and how they were doing. Can you share a little bit about your experience?
Shoes, it's really a tricky reselling business because of the way like the appreciation and depreciation value goes. So really the best way going about doing that is buying from retail and then reselling for um, resale price. Um, but yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunity in the shoe area. It's just about picking the right shoe, um, and that comes with just watching for buzz in the media, a lot of talk in the media, and that's how you know a shoe will do pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And then, as far as just the prep work, I know that you were responsible for getting a lot of things in boxes and envelopes and all of that. Can you provide some tips in terms of getting things, packaged and off to the post office?
I definitely recommend knowing what kind of box you'll have to ship it out there. Don't wait till you get to the post office because you'll have the wrong information on there and you'll have to write it off and ship it with the written address on there, which costs money, more money because you already paid for the label and then you have to pay for the package. But mainly just being prepared. I'd also recommend knowing the relative weight of the item. You don't even have to have a postage weight. If it's a heavy enough item, you could just weigh it on a scale. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I will tell you that Weston did very good when all of us placed our items on eBay consistently. Weston was outperforming all of us with his finds, as well as just doing all the cool things, that uh, goes into packaging, cleaning, making sure that everything looks good, smells good even. There was something that we consistently put on the descriptions. Do you remember that little statement that we always used to make sure that people would buy it?
Ships from a pet-free, smoke-free environment.
And then on some, I eventually started adding to mildew, all of that. Ships from a mildew-free environment, making sure that people understood that, look, when you get this item, you're not going to smell anything strange coming from the item, you see. And I think that that's where some eBay sellers, they go wrong every time. They forget about the incense that they have in the house. They forget about the smokers. They forget about the pets. They forget about the mildew or mold issues that they have. And then you purchase something and now you're like, wait a minute, where's that smell coming from? So be very conscious of that sort of thing, where you're storing your items and who you're storing your items around. Another thing too is that when it comes to eBay businesses, what we have found too is that people will give you positive feedback when you are making sure that you get that item out as fast as possible. You were very good about doing that. Like as soon as the bell went off notifying us that there was a sale, initially you were that way. You want to talk about that?
The quicker you have the shipping label printed and the package ready and everything, the quicker you'll get the money. So that's definitely one of the key things. Really speed and getting it shipped out there. Just being on top of it, that will also bring good reviews and stuff like that, positive feedback. So you definitely want to do that.
Absolutely. And customer service issues. Talk about that one time where you were just like, oh.
Yeah. There were a few times where there was improperly packaged items, which caused them to get damaged during the shipping process, which you want to be mindful of how you're packing the items, potential, ways they could be damaged. Just being very cautious and smart with how you package the item, because that could come back to bite you, and then you just lost out on the sales.
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. So acknowledging the customer, making sure that the packages are handled appropriately. Feedback will definitely come back positive when you do the right thing. Well, I thank you so much, Weston, for taking the time out. At the time of this recording, Weston is how old?
15.
He is a classic example of what you can do when you are young and looking for some money and you don't quite know how to get started and the job isn't coming through, so money is tight. So this is definitely something that Weston will be able to fall back on too, because he has a good understanding of what it takes to be your own boss. Isn't that correct? So thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this video, and we have other videos to come. Feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment. Have a great rest of your day.